Hello kids, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing pretty well in this period of lockdown. So today I have brought you a lesson which does not involve any instrument playing or anything. It will be taking a look into the theory section of the Western music, and I have done a video previously on Western music theory where I explained to you guys about the C major scale, the enharmonic notes, what is a diatonic scale, and what do we call an octave. So today from there on we will be continuing the lesson and we will be adding another element which is known as the interval. So in simple language, if we talk about what an interval is, it is the distance between one or two notes. So if we take a note C and if we take the note E, then the distance between them will be known as the interval. So how do we name the intervals, and how do we arrange them? How do we utilize them in building up chords and in building up the harmony? We'll take a look. Okay, so now I'll be taking the example of a C major scale. Why C major scale? Because it is the scale which contains all the natural notes, no sharps and no flats. And if you remember what a sharp note is and what a flat note is, then you can refer to the previous lesson. Otherwise I'll give just a brief recap of what a sharp note and a flat note is. A sharp note is when it is raised semitone above its certain pitch. For example, if we take the note C, then if we raise it semitones higher, then it becomes C sharp. And if we take the note E, if we lower it down semitone, then it becomes E flat. So you put a symbol of B in front of the note that denotes that that note has been lowered down semitone from its designated pitch. So now if we take a look at the C major scale, then here we have 7 notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and again you can add the octave as well. So that completes the octave. Now that means that we have 8 possible intervals in this major scale. Now what do we call them? So let's take a look at that. So this note is known as the tonic note. Why? Because it's the starting point of any scale. So if we take C major scale, then the C note will be the tonic. If we take the D major scale, then the D note will be the tonic, and so on. Now let's move on to the second note of the scale, that is the D note. So in the D note section, if it's the natural note, then it is known as the major second note. And similarly, if we go on to the third note of the scale, which is E, so it is known as the major third interval. Now if we take a look at the fourth note, that is F, then it is a perfect fourth. Why it is known as perfect fourth? Because this cannot be lowered down in the pitch, and this cannot be raised from its certain pitch, so it will be written as it is. So similarly we have G, it is perfect fifth, and A, which is a major sixth, and then B is the major seventh interval. Then we come to the octave note, that is C, and we call it the perfect eighth. So now let's look at the possibilities. So the notes which are written down here as major second or major third, they can be lowered down to semitone below. So if this D note is lowered down a half step, then this interval will become a minor third, a minor second. So if we take the note D flat, if we lower it down semitones below, then this major second will become a minor second. Similarly, if we take the example of the E note, and if we lower it down half step, then this again becomes the minor third interval, that is E flat. Again with the F and G, obviously there is no semitone that exists between E and F, as I have told in my previous lesson. Then we have G and F. So again, now we move on to A, then it can also become a minor sixth interval, and similarly in the case of B, it can be turned into a minor seventh interval if we lower it down a half step. Now this concludes this lesson on intervals. If you have any doubt, you do post your doubts into the comment section and do let me know. And also I'll be uploading very shortly a PDF of this lesson. So you guys can refer to that PDF if you guys want to memorize this lesson, and if you guys want to derive your own scales from the C major scale by knowing the formula. That I'll be explaining in further lessons, how to make a major scale and what is the formula of a major scale. So stay tuned to the channel. Do like, share, subscribe and comment, and spend some good time in learning music, and happy learning.